And with our next signing we have now is Aaron Kinsey, a 6 foot, 185 pound wide receiver from Spokane, Washington, via John R. Rogers High School. In some of his tape, it has him as kick returner, and punt return, and quarterback. But Idaho has announced him as a wide receiver. And with the speed you can see in his highlight tape, he is very quick, and you can see why Idaho is going to play him at wide receiver. Patrick, what are your thoughts on Aaron?
Yeah, he's an exceptional athlete. He's one of those dudes that you kind of watch the film, and you're like, whoa, that's the best athlete on the field. He played a lot of quarterback in high school, and it kind of weird because when you click on wide receiver commit and then you look at the tape and he's playing a bunch of quarterback, you don't quite know what to You don't quite know what to expect, but the dude just makes plays when the ball's in his hand. He's a very good he's very good in the open field, and again, that's one of those things that I think Eck and Co look for is those guys that can make guys miss in the open field because they love to run those screens. They love to run like little quick passes.
Those lateral move like wide receiver and like sweeps kind of things with JJ's. Yeah.
Lateral sweeps. Yeah, no, he moves very well. He has a great bag of moves in the open field to get guys out, get past guys, and make guys miss. He got in some of the receiver film we saw, like he adjusts to the ball well, like in this play that just happened on the screen right now. He can adjust to the ball well. We don't get to see his hands a ton, but I mean, from what you see, it looks consistent. But what I'm really excited for is his ability in the kick return game. I think he might be a guy that he might be another one of those guys that has a shot to get some looks in the kick return game pretty early into his career. And I mean, I'd like if Idaho could get more freshmen involved earlier in their career in the kick return game, because then it gives your starters a rest on offense. Overall, I mean, I think he's just going to be one of those raw athletes that develops into more of a polished receiver later into his career. I think he's going to be a deep threat for sure. He's one of those guys with great top end speed that I think he's going to be able to just run by defensive backs and stuff. So, and also playing that quarterback spot, a lot of his design runs were kind of like down the middle, where you're following a blocker or a puller or something like that, and he ran behind his blocks very well.
Oh yeah, and I 100% agree with you on that. Like I kind of answering Brian's question, it looks like I don't know much about how much Eli Cummings does with punt return, kick return, but I definitely could see him competing with them, or even having both them back there, kind of both Kinsey and Cummings, which I think would be kind of cool to see. Having that much speed back there might make people might have Janicek lead the league in kick return yardage at some point, just because they're kicking it short so many times.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, you're 100% right. I just kind of what I've in the quick research I've done, because I know he was kind of a later commit. Dude is fast. I think if I saw on his Twitter/X account bio, he ran a 10.8 900 meters, which I believe is pretty damn fast for a 100-meter dash. But I'm not a track expert, and I don't claim to be one. So if somebody else is a track expert that wants to be more expert, talk about that more, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, on hitting Brian's question again, I almost wonder if Eck is just going to go more towards having younger guys do more of the kick returning this year. Like JJ was electric, and having him there was amazing last year. But sometimes it felt like him getting a good return then in turn really hurt him as a receiver, because he was so dang tired that he didn't have any juice left. I think that's something with a guy like Cummings is going to be, if he's going to be the guy at running back next year, I think Eck's going to want to try and, keep him on the shelf a little bit more on special teams and give more of that load to some of the younger guys. I think a guy like Cage Reppin and also Kinsey could be guys to look for in the kick return game, and I think kick off return, and I think a guy like Harst might compete for punt returns with the agility he has to make guys miss.
Oh, yes, 100% agree with you on that. Patrick, do you have any final thoughts you want to mention on Aaron Kinsey before we move on to our next signing?
And then I'll hit on one of Brian's other questions. The GSL isn't like a very dominant. I believe that's 2A. I don't think they're necessarily like a super dominant 2A conference in general in the grand scheme of Washington, but it's not like bad football. That's what I'll say about GSL.
Okay. With that, we are going to be moving on to our next signing.